So, so we were talking, like a Michael Bloomberg example right now, so that he's worth 62 billion. And, he was not worth much at the age of 40, so I'm sure like first 15 years, he was going through all that learning struggle. And once he learned, he became master, it just got so easy. So the reason I'm giving you that, guys, these examples, so I want you to kind of connect some of that situation to yourself, okay? If becoming a billionaire, becoming worth 62 billion, that easy, I think we would have a lot more billionaires, right? But we don't. But did you guys know in America, there's 1,700 million people become millionaire every month? Did you guys knew that? 1,700 people become millionaire in this country every month, or their net worth become more than $1 million. So 1,700, what is it, like 22,000 people a year? So 22,000 of our fellow Americans are becoming millionaire every month. They're doing something different than some of us, right? And do you think they become these millionaires overnight? Probably not, right? So the point I'm trying to get to is there's a little period they go through. And if you make your moves right, it's just like a chess game in your life. And when you pass that little edge, things are a lot easier after that. Like, then you don't really have to do much to make money. It just comes to you, or anything part of your success. I wish you guys had cards, so I would have had the answer. So I wanted to actually give me an answer in your own words. We still have blank here, huh? Word is hey, my handwriting is horrible, but the question is, what is growth meaning to you? Does somebody wanna tell me? I mean, there's like, what is growth meaning to you?
Like, what is growth mean? I guess not staying the same, getting outside of your comfort zone to get better.
Okay, hold on. So let's write your answer and see if we're right. Give me like a specific words you think will be connected to growth.
Stepping outside of your comfort zone.
So being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Potential. Like striving to.
If I spell wrong, I apologize in advance because my spelling sucks. What is it?
Like striving to reach your potential.
The
I mean,
potential?
potential is unlimited, but always constantly
How do you spell potential?
P-O-T-E-N-T-I-A-L.
P-O-T-E-N-T-I-A-L.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm horrible in spelling, but I keep people around me who are good in spelling. See? I don't have to be good at everything, but at least I keep people around who are better than me on those things, right? Anybody else?
Massive action.
Action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Drive.
Drive? Somebody said drive? Give me some more.
Pushing through failure.
Well, I think it can come in one of these.
Continuously learning.
Failures. Give me some more, guys. Learning,
Yeah. Or knowledge, whichever. I mean, that's part of growth, gaining more knowledge.
learning, give me two more.
Let's see.
Come on, ready?
Persistence.
Ready?
Development.
I think persistence is good.
Give me one more. Development. Is out of it already? Huh?
Persistence,
How you spell?
P-E-R-S-I-S-T-E.
I have to look
A-N-C-E? I don't know, honestly.
After
I don't even know what persistence means, should be all the way.
Bigger, better, faster,
Persist,
stronger.
Keep going.
Good job. No, I can't remember.
Don't let
I don't know
it
everything
knock
about
you.
either, yeah? Alright, I want you to guys, sorry, I keep a lot of my notes in my phone, you know, because when I'm sitting by my pond in the morning, that's where I get the best ideas. So my fish kinda helps me think through. So the growth mindset is the understanding that we can develop our qualities and abilities. That is the growth. We can work on our abilities and our qualities. So which one fits in this now?
All of them.
Yeah,
No,
So you have the
actually,
ability to do all of those.
no, but that's not growth. That's something you can do what you wanna do while you're doing the growth. But that is not growth. You guys understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about specifically what is growth means to you. You guys understand? See, what's happened is, we know sometimes the problem, we see it, but we don't see the cause of a lot of things. We can see like, this car got in an accident on the highway, but we don't see the cause behind it, you know? So we're talking about growth. These are the ones you guys think, but just grab this chair.
Oh, okay, great.
Don't block my camera.
Oh,
So if you guys can, you can sit here.
I'll sit over there.
Okay, sit over
I'll
there.
sit back over here.
Okay. Be uncomfortable? No. Potential? No. Action? No. Drive? No. I mean, these are all afterward. I'm talking about, but this is not growth. Pushing to failure? No. Actually, learning is. Learning actually is. Who came up with that? We got some superstars here, huh? Development is persistence now. These are the only two correct answers I got from you guys, right? So we're gonna kind of get into this a little more, okay? On what way? Because I kind of feel like we kind of tell you guys, can you buy some paper towel?
Yeah.
We tell you guys to do things, right? But I feel like we don't, like, get in, like, we all are smart, we all have our brain, right, our mind. But there are like a certain areas which I feel like for some certain people not really open. And I'm trying to open those connections right now, so you guys can connect this. So I'm trying to stay as broad as I can, so you guys can apply on yourself on this, okay? See, I write actually notes before I even talk to you guys, so I wanna make sure I cover it right, I don't forget in the because then somebody says something, I get off track, you know? So we're gonna do, I kinda came up with this idea, I think I'm pretty accurate on it, but if you guys think I made a mistake, just point, okay? I'll call it X growth formula, okay? I'll give the X name of it, make it a little bit more exclusive. So, I think I have better notes, but I can't even understand my own handwriting sometimes. That is bad, right?
I can't read mine sometimes too.
Okay, this is what I think is the growth formula, and I think I'll just call it X growth formula, okay? So what is goals? If, to you, when you're in the learning zone?
Milestones towards
Okay.
where you're going.
Okay. Anybody else?
Kind of like setting standards for yourself, what you wanna achieve.
Well, the milestone and setting standard of yourself is more come to performance zone, I think.
Planning.
Yep. We can use planning. What else?
Strategizing?
That's
Works
the same thing.
Yeah.
The key word, okay? Improve. So actually I'm planning everything comes in that, but I'm just gonna try to keep it simple, okay? What is the performance zone should be for the goals?
Milestones.
Or do as the best we can.
Okay, but you have to have certain.
Because everybody is different, but again, because not everybody have the same goals.
True, but you still have to have a way to measure if you're performing or not. And if there's no measurement, then there's no way to.
Come on, join the party.
Yeah, give me a second.
We can do milestone or.
Mhm.
No, but the thing is, milestone comes in still in a learning zone because you're setting a milestone to get there. But I'm talking
True.
about when you already get there. You already get hit to your milestone.
Tell us the answer.
When you already get there, you do the best you can. You understand? And I'll give you an example.
Does anybody else need anything?
Nope, it's all yours.
No,
Right now?
we're good.
You're on TV.
Get out of the way here.
Millions of people are watching.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She don't wanna cuddle me.
So I'm just gonna get an example for this, okay? What is, I'll talk about X goals, okay? as a company. We have goals. How do we get there? We have to go to 2 different zones. Learning zone is improving because what's happening right now is, if you look at last year we were just trying to figure out how to get the business. We didn't really know how to get the business. I have not been in this industry, but I know one thing, when I get into one thing, I learn and I become best at it. That's at least how much I have faith or confidence on me. Doesn't matter what business I get in. That's at least, maybe I'll fail, but at least I keep this mindset. Like, if this person can do it, I can do it, and I can probably do it better. It's just how I learned everything what he knows. And that takes time, right? So, last year we had a goal that we are gonna be a $1 billion company. We're gonna do, actually, we wanna do $1 billion, which is, we calculated to up to every loan, how many loans we have to do average. We have to do 50 to 100 loans a year. It brings down to 20 loans a day. That's a lot of loans.
Yeah.
That is the goal. Okay. So how do we get there? So then we first learned on the basic, if we have to do a lot of loans, we have to get a lot of calls. A lot of people should be coming in and applying for the loans, or calling in, right? What we worked on mostly, basically last year, how to get business, marketing. Because you can plan everything in your life, in the company and everything. You can have the rough ideas of things, this is how I want things. But the thing is, when you get there, you come up with totally new problems in the middle.
Mhm.
So what do? Just like I drive from here to Katy, you see a bunch of exits on the way, right? Those are technically like a milestone, because if you drive in a country, you see little milestones. Because it tells you this exit is not even exist, but it tells you the sign, so you kind of know how far you are from your goals. So, and that's what I think they call it, a milestone, because it's after every mile. Actually, I didn't even thought about that until now. So, long story short, we knew we wanted to do $1 billion, but we didn't know how to do there. So we start basically what we had to do. We had to get a lot of calls. We had to do the market. We had to figure out the secret sauce of the marketing, right? We did not have like millions of dollars like a lot of other companies do to do a lot of marketing. So what you do when you don't have the money, just like sometimes if you don't have all the money, but you be creative, right? You figure out the money you have, how to pay your rent. The money you have, you go to the grocery store and you buy the cheap groceries. I'm just give an example. We all been through these kind of situations, and then that's how you kind of manage it, what you have, right? And I'm sure you're all managing the resources you have, your lifestyle. Some have a little bit more, some have a little less. So we had to do the same thing for the business. We had to manage our resources, and then we kind of learn good things. Of the stuff we teach about social media, that we didn't learn that right away. We had to do a lot of mistakes, 6-8 months of mistakes and hitting the right, Jim, hitting the walls everywhere. Like we tried so many things, some worked, some got a little bit, some didn't. So that's how we kind of learn now a little bit better. So what is called? What we did improvement. You understand? We would not keep doing the same thing over and over again. So one of the things we did in the start, when I started the company, I was going to all networking events. I was going to millennials networking event. I was going to all these teaching class networking events. Then I was going to young professionals or whatever networking event. These are all people, right? Because when you want to do business, you want to go out and put your name out, right? But then I learned, see, that's where documentation for your goals are very important. I realized, okay, I went to this event and all the cards I got, is that person is really helpful for me to get there where I want to go? Because none of those people were really they were realtors, there was a title company escrow officer, but none of them are investors. So what I learned, it's a great networking place to go meet young professional, but I felt like I was already kind of ahead of that a little bit. Because over there, I think I was taking more value to them than the value I was getting back from those people. They were more interested to learn from me, which I have no problem, but I'd rather teach the people who are working with me, because if they're more successful, I make more money. Yeah, so I'm not trying to be one of those teachers like gurus and try to teach and try to charge money. The whole goal on this thing I'm doing is to get you guys on the right mindset, and so you guys see things a bit more clear. And the reason we do this now, and sometimes it might not make sense to you. We had a lot of people last year. We had a lot of deals coming in. At that time, we did not have really the best programs. We have way better programs now. But what was happening is, we were putting all the information out in front of all these people. Oh, this is the loan program, this is what you have to do, and that's how you close. And all we did, okay, here's the file. We showed you, you know what to do. Go call, go to the events and do that, whatever you want to do, and get business. How do you think that worked out for us?
Probably up and down.
Jonah, you were part of that at that time, right?
Yeah.
So, us not getting the good result at that time, I think we improved big time in the last 3 months to 4 months actually, in building a company culture than we did before. And I guess some of you guys will agree with that. I start seeing, okay. So I start seeing there's a problem, obviously, which giving all this information to these people, but they're not performing. Some were performing, some were being terrible, and what was happening? We were having turnover. People were leaving, because if you're not gonna make money, you come into a company, because real estate is a lot in commissions, like from the realtors to loan officers. So you come in with all this fire, oh my God, this is a new industry I'm about to get in, and I'm gonna learn, and there's no limit for my goals. I'm gonna make probably $100,000 this year, which is great. Coming up with this ambition, I welcome that. I don't want you to make 100, I want you to make 200, because you're making 200, you're probably making us 300 on top of it. So I want you to set your goals so high. But what happened when they come in, we gave them the information, what they need to know. But they read it, but we didn't see the results. So I had to see there was a problem, obviously. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that's improvement. We are not keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's called insanity. Right? If I'm gonna be doing same thing what I did 6 months ago or a year ago, I'm pretty insane then, you know? We're learning every day, 2 days, new knowledge, new information. I know now, okay, there's Daniel. How much did we learn in the last 4 days about how so now the new structure I wrote about the company yesterday, I talked to you guys, the executive. What is our goal now? 1 billion or about 6-7 billion at least?
It's in multiples, yeah.
Because I saw a totally new market we didn't even know. I can't really discuss that much in the details.
We basically went from IPO on one company to IPO on 3 companies with the same business.
But in a broader, because I didn't even know that industry existed in the back end. Like, damn, okay, this Axis is only just a part of it. Now I see something bigger, which will be controlling the whole market. I didn't know that.
And we were leaving it on the table for others.
You understand? So, we will discuss that later. I don't want to do that on the video. I don't want to tell all my competitors, oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do, you know? So, well, not all of you guys also have a confidentiality agreement anyway, so we'll share after this. Just remind me, okay? So you guys can see what we kind of changed in our vision. So what we did, I was documenting everything. I was writing down all these problems, and I was like, man, I feel so stuck. I don't know what to do. Like how can I get these people going? You know, there was 2 things I could have done. I could just sit down with 2-3 people and do all the loans myself, or I have big teams and doing it. But if I'm sitting down and doing loans on all day myself as a CEO, I'm working in the business. You guys actually realize any loan comes to me, I pass it on to one of you guys, right? Why is that? I can save that commission and keep it to myself, right? Because I'm not thinking about today right now. I'm thinking about 2 years or 3 years from now. If I go start doing the loans myself, I'm working in the business, but I'm not trying to work in the business. I'm trying to work on the business every day. My job is here somehow to find the cheapest money, and on top of it, to make sure the problems you guys are dealing with every day, try to minimize them or get rid of them. So when I see the problem, it helps me to come make a new decisions, and then we make new policies. And that policy basically is supposed to help. Let's say if Adriana had that problem this month, we want to come up with the new policies which will help, so Ashton don't have to deal with that same problem next month. Or even Ashton have to deal with that problem. Now we kind of know how Ashton's going to deal with it. So Adriana wasted 2 weeks on that because we didn't know what to do. But now we know what to do, so she can solve that problem in 2 days. So we saved 12 days now, right? What do we call that? Improvement, right? We do, right?
Yes.
That is improvement. The reason I'm using the company example, so you guys understand why, now we're talking about growth right now, but I'm just saying that this is the reason we're doing that. So you guys understand when I'm making changes, and a lot of time every 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the company policies, because we are not in the performance zone yet. We are still in the improvement zone for our goals. So that's what we're changing. And do you see, last 2-3 months in a row turned out to be like the best months we ever had. And every month, our revenue been increasing. So obviously, what did we do different? One of the main things I did, instead of giving all the information to the people all about business, what I realized, the people who did not work here, I started calling them. And I started asking them. And I think, did I tell you that about you or no?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So I kind of like, I never burn bridges, right? So this has always been my life motto. The people, even the girlfriends I had in the past, they still talk to me. If I send them, they would not hate me. Or even the people I did business with, or even the deal worked out or no. I try my best to keep very civil, very good terms, because you never know who you're gonna run into and when you're gonna need someone, right? So I start calling them, and I start like writing why they did not succeed in my company. Because I want you to know. So I came with everybody have their different reason. Well, there was no direction, or then some people blamed it on some management, some people. So one of the main things I came down to, I saw most of the people didn't do because they could not handle the life stress. You understand? Because of their mind was kind of like taking over them, they were not controlling their mind. So when your mind take over you, what you do, you think for the worst. Oh my God, it's 25th now, and I haven't closed any sales, and how I'm gonna pay my rent now? Then what's gonna happen now? If I can't pay my rent, I'm gonna get kicked out of the apartment. Okay, how am I gonna get kicked out? I'm gonna be a homeless, and now I'm gonna be sleeping right next to a homeless person. And then what's gonna happen? I'm probably gonna get a disease from other homeless guy, and I'm gonna be have probably AIDS or something, and I'm gonna be in the hospital, and I'll be dead probably in 2 years.
That's very true.
What you understand is, you do stop your mind somewhere, right? But if you do not stop your mind, don't you think your mind gonna go all the way? Because after that, it gets so ridiculous, you have to like stop your mind. Oh man, I'll stop it. You know? So, that's what I kind of learned. Like there was no direction was giving right from us. We are a lender just like anybody else. We have nothing proprietary we're giving to a person. Like, they can get money from us, they can get money from a bunch of other people. What are we offering special? So, the valuable thing is not the loans. We want to be the most competitive and the cheapest we can be, so we can make a lot easier what you're selling. The value is the people.
It's our
Customer
relationships.
experience.
But how can you give, if my people are the one representing the company, like all of you guys, and other branches, that's what we're recording, so we can share that with them. You guys are representing us. So how can you represent ourselves when you don't even have belief on us? You don't even have a belief on your product. Okay, so let's say when I give you the best product, do you think you can still sell it?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Of course.
Well, it depends. You might be able to sell it, and Daniel might not be able to sell even one. So what's the difference between you and Daniel then?
She can sell and he can't.
See, that's fixed mind. We're gonna get to that next time. See, when you're fixed mind, you can judge it. When you are open mind, you always open to things.
So I'm in the learning zone and.
Like
she's in
some
the
people,
performance zone.
I'll tell you, when I was a Republican, a couple of years ago, Republicans loved me, and now I'm supporting the other side, now they hate me. So I'm just giving an example.
We don't
People
hate
have
you,
fixed mind.
We just don't agree with you.
Yeah.
We still like you.
So,
Can we
So-
remind him that he's
Yeah, no.
I have to pull that string on these two somehow. I just enjoy it so much, So, okay, back to this. So basically what I'm trying to tell, we actually started working on people's, we thought, okay, the people is our biggest commodity, our staff. So we recognize it's not the loan, it's the staff is the biggest commodity in this company. And see, but the thing, I don't have all the answers either, so I'm like learning every day. So, and why I'm learning? Because I have a growth mind. If I don't have a growth mind, I would be like, no, this is how you do it. You follow, that's it. There's nothing, no, this is exactly how you do it. I might, and you might come with a totally different way. Like, we had a little talk with Paige this morning, and she was a little frustrated about one or two situations. But when I explain it to you, do you feel better about it? Because the way Paige was seeing things, I saw it 2 years ago when I came in the business, about a year and a half ago. Other Paige, you actually usually think the exact same way the way I was thinking, but there's a reason we don't do this. And then I explained you all the reasons, right? No, it made sense. So then I realized if these people are not making it, main problem, we were telling, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this. But I kind of realized if I'm on this stage and somebody, and they hire me all these paperwork, all these loan programs, and expect me to just be so good at it and go and like do all these loans. But how? Because when I sit down, I can't pay attention more than 5 minutes. Because now everything I forgot to do comes in my mind. Oh, I had to pick up the groceries. Oh, my wife didn't talk to me right last night. Man, I'm gonna have an argument when I get home. Like anything I can think of, oh damn, I'm supposed to go pick up my dry clean. I'm done. Like when you're trying to concentrate on like learning this loan program, but everything else you not forgot to do, start coming into your mind. And then this starts seeming so important, it just comes like a movie trailer. That's where I got clicked. I was like, damn, if I deal with this thing, that's what everybody else is dealing with. I have this person in my head that just doesn't shut up. You just keep talking. Imagine if I'm married to this person, I would probably divorce him in one day. But you can't divorce your mind. You're stuck with him for your life, so what you do, you're gonna sit down with that person and lay out ground rules. Hey, we're stuck for life. Either I killed you, I die, you kill me, I die. One way or the other. So now we're gonna have some boundaries. And in a start, basically, that person's gonna have an argument. He's gonna come up with every counter argument you can think of. But after that, you still have to come to some kind of a resolution, right? For a long term. Just like if you have a puppy, you work so hard. A lot of people don't like puppies, right? Because they're like, man, they poop and pee everywhere. I don't want to deal with them in my house. And some people will love it, but I know it's only temporary. I keep him in a crate, I let him out, put him in a crate, and this seems like very like a mean thing to do. Putting a poor little puppy, all he wants to come just play with you and wagging his tail. He wants to get out. He's so excited to see you, but you're keeping him in his crate for the first 2-3 months mostly, and letting him because you're training him. So he could be an obedient dog. So you don't have a problem. A dog just when you come home, you have like poop all over and pee all over, and then nobody's gonna come to your apartment or a house, right? So you do these ground rules for this with that puppy, So that's exactly, I kind of realized, you have to do that with your mind. Your mind gonna keep fight you in the start because it has so many bad habits, but after a while, after a couple, if you stay consistent with that, you start giving up. And then they start adapting what you're saying. When you get to that mindset, that you call it growth mindset. So when I learned that, so instead of me pushing on you guys, if you see our training is a lot different, right, Jim, than it was before. We don't talk about loans anymore. Loans are just a part of it now. I focus more, get you guys at the right mindset, or try to give you tools so you guys can work on yourself. I can't really work on your mind anyway, because you are the one who have to do it. All I'm doing here, trying to give you little tools or giving you a little vision picture, so it might help to connect, because we all have different life stories right now. So do we all agree to get to your goals, you have to go through improvement, right?
Yes.
But now I kind of gave you a little bit picture. When we're going through that, that's what you see. So right now, I see people are more consistent, people are closing loans and things like that, but there's still issues. But it's okay, it's part of it, we understand that. I'm not gonna expect Ashlyn to be a superstar on her 1 month, but I expect her to be a superstar 6 months from now. You understand? Like one thing I really, really appreciate, Paige is one of the few employees we had, she questioned the hell out of everything. I can see that as an annoying thing. Oh my God, why this girl is just keep asking question after question and keep finding the problem. Oh, in the Dropbox there's so much old stuff. I don't even know until she mentioned that. So should I be annoyed by her, or should I be like, thank you, Paige, I didn't even know that. You just point out something I overlooked. So I can see she's attacking my company and my management as a criticism, or I can welcome her criticism, what she's pointing out, which we overlooked every day. I'm like, oh damn, at least I'm glad somebody's looking. That is improvement. So what's gonna happen? We have a goal to do at least $1 billion a year. So what's gonna happen, let's say in 2025, we get to $1 billion. Do you think it's just a happy ending now? It's like a marriage, like a movie. You get the guy got the girl and the movie's end. There's a reason they never show the second part of the movie. When the guy and girl get together, get married, movie ends. Because the real life starts after that, actually. I'm sure like most of you guys do have wives or boyfriends. It was all exciting like until you guys were dating, but it was like all exciting. You didn't know, are we together or no, or whatever. When you guys became like official, the different life started. Some of you guys like started a new chapter, got married. But did you guys, after being married, I'll be honest with you, have the same feeling now what you had when you start dating that person? At that time it was more all excitement. Now you're just making it work. It's life. It was a lot easier then to get to that level, but it's harder to keep it going, right? So we're gonna be in the exact same, when we get to the performance zone, we hit our goal, what we want it to be. Do you think if we just start taking days off, we all start taking vacation, what's gonna happen? The number's gonna go down. So when we get to $1 billion, we gotta set a new goal after that. Now we are right here, how can we improve to get to $2 billion a year? That's the only way we're gonna keep growing. You know, 95% of the companies in US fail in first 5 years. Out of that, the 5% left, then 90% fail in first 10 years. Then after that, like about 50% fail in next 5 years. And the companies normally make it after 15 years, they kind of have a little bit more. Those are the ones you kind of see now here as the big companies now, like McDonald's and all these companies, because they made it every single cycle. Okay, let's go this second. So we have goals. So how do we get to goals? We have to do activities, right? We have to do something to get to those goals, right? And that's how you do. what we do activities for improvement. We have goals because we're gonna improve, and then when we get there, we're gonna do best. Now we're doing activities. Actually, we're now implementing. See, goals when you set, it's all in head. This is all thought. We were talking about all thoughts right now. Now we're talking about in real life on the second step. And that side that was improved, this is real improvement. That's something you have to do every day. To get there, the next one is to do that, the next step is execution. So this is the mindset. This is in real life you're doing it. And then for the performance, basically you execute it. Whatever you plan, like one of the things I do every morning before I come to work, is my morning routine. Like I look at my like things I have to do, right? Whatever I have to work on, I have like meetings and all. I look at my schedule, then I close my eyes for like 2 minutes, and I actually like visualize my day, how it's gonna go. And I make sure I'm gonna have a real good day today. And I visualize it first. Like I'm gonna have this meeting, and I'm gonna get something good out of this meeting. Then I'm gonna have like this thing, like today, I know I am gonna talk to you guys, so I visualize it in my head first. Like, then the result I was seeing, hopefully that will get you guys understand, hopefully some of the point I'm trying to get across. So you gotta like plan things for a bit, in your head. Okay, after the execution, the next one is concentrate on. When you concentrate something, when you're in a learning zone, you haven't mastered yet. So when you get to this side, you haven't mastered yet, because we don't expect to master everything, right? Because you're in a learning zone right now. So in a learning zone, you haven't mastered. And then when you get to a performance zone, when you master, you already mastered it, basically. So right now, let's say Paige just started, Maddie just started, we have some new people. You haven't mastered the things you're working on. But do you think 2 months from now or 6 months, you guys probably haven't mastered, but you kind of know. But 6 months from now, you think you will be in that side performance zone? You already mastered, you know everything, how the underwriter will look at the things. You look at the bank statement, you kind of get the idea from there. You see the credit report, you see the little, okay, if you have a felony, you know you need some kind of explanation, whatever it is. It's means you already mastered it, because you kind of already know what kind of reaction you're going to get from the underwriter. Your job is to approve people. Underwriter's job is to find everything wrong with this loan. So if you can catch all those things now in advance, don't you think you save a lot of time? Water? Have mastered. Guys, I'll send you guys in a format also. I know my handwriting sucks, I'm just trying to.
You have this
So-
all on a PowerPoint you can share with us?
I'm learning how to use a PowerPoint, I don't know, I've been asking everybody, somebody can do it for me, please? Actually, Maddie, she kind of do, yeah, I can help with it.
I need to learn how this works first.
Hey, you know that the template I shared with you, our company structure, I didn't know how to do it, I just started playing around and I figured it out. So, I know, I just have to put 1 hour into it, trust me, I'll be a master after that. Okay, the last one. Mistakes to be. When you're in a learning zone, if somebody can give me the right word. We're talking about mistakes only right now. When you're in a learning zone, what do you expect about the mistakes?
To learn from them.
I understand, but you expect to be having a mistake, right? Failure.
Of course.
So we're gonna put expected. We're already expecting we're gonna make mistakes anyway.
Yeah.
failure isn't final unless you quit.
Because the reason I'm looking at my phone, I keep my notes in my notepad. So it helps me. So we're already expecting to make mistakes. It's okay. We're gonna make mistakes. You are gonna screw up a couple deals for sure. We're okay with that. So let's say you do an example. Ashlyn, I'm gonna use her a lot, for example. So I can tell Tony, like, hey.
Oh, great.
So, Ashlyn, when you started this thing, you do expect to make a lot of mistakes, right, in the start, right?
Yeah.
Which is normal. You know that, I know that, everybody know that. More than likely, you might screw up 1 or 2 deals too. Hopefully you don't, but if you do, it's expected. So let's say in 6 months from now, Ashley is in her performance zone. Where we should be after that?
In 6 months, I better be a master.
Then you're master, but we're talking about mistakes right now. You cannot master the mistakes.
I mean, I won't be making as many. I probably would have learned.
She said the key word, minimize them. So guys, you guys kinda got the idea of where I'm trying to get to? That's why I kinda asked you guys questions for, what is growth? You guys told me how to do the growth, some of the things, but that was not the growth. Right? So I'll have that probably, I'll make it probably end of the day or tomorrow. Where's that, where's the?
There's a, behind it. there's
Right
an
there on the top of
actual
the board, on top of the board.
Eraser.
There you go.
I'll make those markers.
No, they stay in the corner.
Even these markers are so cheap, or something's going on, you know?
You need to buy some spray.
Yeah, I have spray in that conference room, but they're,
That's
There
why.
they got mad at me when I walked in there earlier.
Oh, really? They're probably in a deposition, huh?
It looked like it, I guess it was a deposition.
That's
what
what
I
he
was-
said it was.
That's what I was thinking about, yeah. That's intense.
So if we all agree now in a growth, there's 2 zones only, right? Learning zone and a performance zone. So I'm trying to break it down so you guys can use this strategy to really keep yourself in the growth mode, you know? And trust me, I'm not doing that because I'm like a Gandhi or something. Oh, I wanna help you. You guys become more successful, it helps me financially more, you know? So it's a give and take. I'm trying to help you get there, but when you guys being successful, the company's more successful. So that's what we're doing. So we do agree we have a learning zone and performance zone. I can write my notes here. So we do agree, we start from here and we do go to the performance zone, right? What happens when you get to the performance zone? I'm talking about everything. This is the keyword. After you get to the performance zone, you reset your goals and you go back to the learning zone. You repeat, it's a cycle.
Yeah.
It's never gonna end until the day you die. So once you accept that and you work on your mind, your mindset, hey, this is not like I'm doing it one time. This is how my life gonna be. Don't you think it'll be a lot easier? Because now you know you have to change. You have to become somebody else probably. Because who's you? Like, what defines us? Like, were we born Republican, Democrat, or independent, or conservative? Whatever view I'm taking, we were born exact same. We came here with no clothes on, all naked. Right? The doctor can tell us what this guy gonna be. This is gonna be a doctor or a lawyer or a criminal. This is what we choose to be. You know, the funny thing is, a lot of time we hear from people, oh, whatever God decided for me. Like when we make mistakes or something like that, we say, oh, that's what maybe it was in my luck. It was written for me. It just had to happen, you know. A lot of people believe that. But that whiteboard really don't exist. Can you find that whiteboard? Like this whiteboard, Ike Umar, a handsome guy in his 36, going to live this part of this century, right? And it have like an arrow right on me. But that whiteboard don't exist. So what happened, we just make our own purpose of lives because the decision we are making every day. So if we think sometime, let me give you an example. Let's say I yell at John a lot all the time, actually, because I'm always correcting him. But I see him like my little brother here, you know? So we have understanding. But he's improving a lot on things because I want him to be with me when we go to the promised land, when the company is really big, when I can step down and do my passion projects. So I need people, some of you guys, to be like taking over everything. My plan is not I'm gonna like working this at 30 years and my kid's gonna go home. No, my kids gotta start their own. I'm gonna spend every single dollar before I die. I am not working hard for my kids. My job is to give them the best education when I have kids, give them the best quality. And I'm actually considering, I was thinking about that, like, hey, maybe I should do my kids homeschool. Because they teach you garbage in school. I think I can teach them a lot better things in the right life, which I started learning in my late 20s and 30s. If I teach them in their teens, imagine where they're gonna be. So let's say if I, like, man, my thought process kind of forget what things.
Learning zone, performance zone.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's say I remember now. So let's say I get upset at him and I say something. He can look at two ways. He had to see first thing, is Ike is crazy or stupid, like he just yelled at me for no reason? Or he can also look at it like, okay, he yelled at me for, he said this I did wrong. And then he can sit down and think about it. Did I do this wrong or right? Then if you see, oh, Ike doesn't really, like, as a person I know him, he doesn't like to yell on people. When he's frustrated, he does, because I'm a human just like you guys. I have emotions take over with you. I try to control my emotions my best, but sometimes I can't. I get frustrated, just like some of you guys do. So he can look at two ways. He can look at, man, screw this guy. I'm gonna go find some other job. I'm gonna go back to the business I came from, you know? Or he's like, okay, yeah, man, because I did this. And when he's think like, okay, let me be Ike for a minute. And let me look at it, and Ike is the one did that. When you put yourself in other person's shoes, now you're looking at things totally different. I'm like, yeah, that's right. If the other guy would have done that, I would be upset too. So now he got a totally different prospect. So what he's gonna do now, next time, he's gonna try to improve that. Because he learned already, like, okay, the learning is he understood maybe he was wrong. But next time he's gonna improve on himself, so he just doesn't do it without knowing. So that's improvement. Okay guys, now I'm just wanna move to the last part. I came up with, I think, which is gonna be very helpful. I think some of you guys really need it. I don't wanna put laundry out. Are you guys getting some value out of this? I hope you guys are, huh? Just remember, the way I see things, what you're doing the lending, that's a small part of it, what we're doing, okay? This is the one, if you guys imply some of these things right, everything else will get a lot simple and easy. So let's talk about, that's why I went to that, we talked about mistakes, right? That was the last part of the conversation. So, we make a lot of mistakes every day, right? And this is not, I didn't create
Not
that,
every
I
day.
learned that, okay? So, just for disclosure, I didn't create that, I learned that, and now I think, wow, I learned something. So I thought, so I want you to guys know this before I get upset at you from your mistakes now on, okay? So you need to categorize your mistakes now on these 4 boxes. You know what that mean, aha moment mistakes? Somebody can tell me? What do you know about that?
Like realizing what your mistake was, and learning how to fix it.
Okay, keep thinking, keep telling me.
Solving an issue, solving a problem.
Maybe you didn't know it was a mistake?
She's right. You didn't know that was a mistake. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. That was a positive mistake, we call it. Because you're doing something, you just made a mistake, but you're doing something right, but you didn't know. You just made like error, like a form you had to send in. We had like Jim had a mistake. Remember we had one page fitted, and we kind of lost some money. But it was an aha mistake in the end. If it was a different kind of mistake, we would have a different issue. But that was an honest mistake. But the thing is, with aha mistakes or honest or whatever you want to call it, you learn and you fix it. The first mistake is the aha mistake. The second one is a stretch mistake. What is a stretch mistake? Stretch. I think I spelled it right.
Yeah, you did.
I can draw a person stretching.
You're
Does
about to
anybody-
make it again.
Huh?
You're about to make it again.
No.
Long-term mistake?
Nope. Keep going. I want to hear. I want you to guys think. I'm not a guy who just
You're
teach.
trying to make something work that shouldn't. You're trying to stretch yourself too far that
Keep going. You're at the right
you're
track.
making a mis-
What you
So,
think? Yeah.
you're- Instead of maybe just recognizing this loan isn't gonna fit, you're trying to stretch yourself too far that the mistake you're probably making is even giving it, wasting your time on it.
You're somewhat right about that.
Okay,
Doing too
someone else.
much.
He hit the thing on the nail. On like
Nail on the head.
nail and a half. Sorry.
Doing too much.
Doing too much is a stretch mistake. Imagine you guys have like 20, 30 leads you're working on, and you're not documenting anything. And you think your mind will remember everything. And then you're talking and you put the wrong information. Basically, what do you call that stuff? It's a stretch mistake, kind of. But it's actually come on a different kind of mistake too. But that's why you write everything, document everything. That's why we have a HubSpot. You enter everybody's information. That's why we have a BLN software you put. So you don't really, even you do have to do so many loans at the same time you're working on. You don't make those stretch mistakes. You understand? Because things are a little bit more organized for you guys. You understand? So that's a stretch mistake. Like, I'm gonna use Jonah again as argument. Me and Jonah had a little argument about a couple things. And he made a couple mistakes. And when I started talking to him, like, well, I'm doing this, you give me this project, you give me this project, you give me this project. So that's the reason he didn't do one of the things I told him to do. That's a stretch mistake. But on the other side, from my side, I realize he's right. I put it a lot more into him than he could have handled, and can't focus on so many things. So what I did, that's why I made that chart yesterday by departments. So I can divide every job as a department now. You understand? Why I made those departments now? So we don't have these kind of like a conversation back and forth. Because then too many people are making too many mistakes. Yeah. The reason I want you to guys know like how many kind of mistakes, so you guys can like see what kind of mistakes, because you can work on it and you can fix it. Okay, number 3. How you spell sloppy? S-L-O-P-P-Y?
Correct. I think everybody knows what that is.
What is sloppy mistake? Number 3.
Being lazy.
Lazy is part of it. Jim, what's sloppy mistake?
Not paying attention to detail, leaving things out, not documenting the information properly.
Anybody else?
Something that could easily be avoided. You know, it shouldn't be, you don't, it's an
Unorganized.
unnecessary mistake.
Sloppy mistake, I mean, you guys are more all right on that. What I think the sloppy mistake is, you already know you're gonna make that mistake and you don't do anything about it. You understand?
No, why would you do that? Why would
Because
you-
I don't feel like it, I'm lazy at that moment. I know, like last night I went to bed and I realized I didn't let my dog out. Damn, I just started, well, hopefully he doesn't like poop in a cake. I'm like, no.
But
I
you
got,
still
I
did it.
got up, I went outside, I opened the door, I let him out, and I waited 5 minutes for the kitchen, and then let him back in.
So if you knew it and you didn't get up, you'd be sloppy.
No. You understand? That would have been, then in the morning, I would be more pissed off. Damn, I'd be like all that smell in the living room and all that, like, all this I did a little thing
Yeah.
to avoid that mistake. You understand?
Yeah.
So, it's implement these things that we're not talking about only the company, it applies pretty much in your life too. So you already know you don't do this, it's gonna do this, like, let's say, like you have a credit card and a month is tough or whatever, you have to pick a thing, you have an option to make sure you make I make those mistakes a lot actually, the small bills, I forget about them, and then they come with the big bills. I'm not even kidding. Sometimes I'm payment, like your payment's like $20. You're like, oh, I'll do it, it's $20, no big deal. Then tomorrow, something else comes in. And day after that, something else comes in, which is as much important. And what happens? Then you realize you're 30 days late. And now it shows up on your credit report. And you're like, damn, it's only $20. But then we look at it, we see a late payment. It doesn't tell us on the credit report, it was a $10, $20 payment. We see 30 days late. And the borrower said, oh my God, it was like freaking $5 or $10. And they try to explain that to us. Don't we hear a lot of these things on the explanation, Jim?
Yep.
It was a $10, or it was $20. It was a yearly fee. That's I see a lot on explanations. That's a sloppy mistake.
Or as a LO, not getting your letter of explanation. Sloppy mistake.
That's why if you see little things already before you sending the file to the underwriting, you can cover, because you already know underwriter's gonna come back to you for this. That's why you need to be in the growth learning stage all the time, you keep learning. And when you learn everything, basically you don't make those sloppy mistakes. Making mistakes is okay, but you have to know, I'm not saying all the mistakes are okay though. Okay, the last one. High stake mistakes. What does that mean? Nobody know what high stake mistakes are?
Expensive.
Expensive.
Only that's part of it, huh?
High risk, something that.
You know you shouldn't do, and you know there's gonna be big consequences if you get caught.
Mm-hmm.
Critical mistakes.
Inside
Huh?
like inside trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Been there,
yeah.
done that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mistake. Anything else? Anybody else? Come on, guys, I mean, I have a bunch of smart people here and you guys can come up with,
I think we hit the main one.
Everybody said what I was gonna
Yeah.
say when I read it.
okay. So high stake mistake, basically, you guys already know,
Yeah.
like stakes are high,
They're intentional ones.
right?
Right.
When, let's say, I'm making a deal, I have to be like, when, especially, I do a lot of my homework when we go and negotiate our deals with the hedge funds and stuff, who's gonna buy our loans. I like, one of the things I do, I read about their company, who started it. And then I try to go to his profile or something sometimes, who I'm meeting, like, I'm talking about not regular guy, I'm talking about like people, if I make a mistake, controls that's like future of my company. I try to read as much about them or get as much information about them. What I'm trying to do, one of the things, I'm trying to find a lot of common areas. You understand? So if that guy like golf, or if he likes, like whatever, he posts pictures, I know he likes these things, and I like these things too. I have to make a connection with him somehow. Because when you make a connection, the guy gets his guard down, so if I would say something wrong, or even I act like an idiot, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, he will overlook it. I'm not talking about mistake, I'm talking about how I prepare myself so I don't make those mistakes. Because obviously this guy's sitting over there and I'm going to him for probably money, his hedge fund. What is the difference between me and him? The knowledge. So if I don't know what the hell I'm doing, you don't think the guy with the knowledge will see right through? Like this guy's an idiot? Let me ask you, like a guy comes to you with the 4 or 5 deals done, right? And a guy comes to you, he's doing the deal first time. Don't you think when you ask the questions, you kind of like see through, this guy know what he's doing and this guy don't know what he's doing? Why, how can you tell?
Confidence.
Just doesn't understand the process, how it works.
The
That's
knowledge.
part.
Yeah.
That's the knowledge.
Language.
Because you have a lot more knowledge now than him, and you deal with the people with lot of experience, and you're dealing with a person with no experience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You understand? So, what made you in a different situation to judge the situation right? Your knowledge. And how do you get the knowledge? You were in the growth mindset. So, these are the 2 things I kind of wanted to go over today, which I think can solve some of the problems here. You know, instead of us kind of keep going back at each other, sometime in the situation, every mistake's gonna happen. But I want you to just recognize what kind of mistake are you making. And on the other side, I can hand you like all the information in a gold tray. I can even make it like you're riding with the gold. But you are the one have to take it. You know, there's a saying, you can take horse to the river when the horse is the one have to drink. So I'm trying to like kind of teach you how to drink that water. You understand? If horse doesn't know he have to go down and drink water out of it, he can't do it, right? So that's what we basically wanted to like talk about, so you guys know.
Well, making mistakes isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's